Welcome everybody to another video, and we are here for a tier list video. I've actually brought out the webcam. We're gonna be doing a face cam video. I'm not sure if I've actually ever done one of those, but I figured we would switch it up, and since we're doing a tier list, you can better understand my expressions when I rate all these games. But today we're going to be doing a tier list on the classic games, going over the classic events and what I thought of each game and the task that you had to complete, so you guys can follow along with this video and see if you agree or disagree with the takes that I have. Additionally, if you want to follow along and do this tier list with me, I will have it linked in the description. The only thing I'm going to change is I'm going to actually remove the F and the E, because being honest, I don't think I've ever actually done a tier list with those. So we're going to simplify it a little bit and just have S, A, B, C, and D. The way I'm going to rank each of these tiers is S is going to be the very best, A is going to be good, B is going to be mediocre, C is going to be bad, and then D is going to be terrible. So let's begin our tier list of the games that were involved in the classic. The first game is going to be Adopt Me, and for me this is a pretty easy D tier. The task took a while and it was so repetitive, raising the teapot and doing the same thing over and over pretty much. And you know it's bad when people were actually using macros to complete this task. And also, not to mention, there wasn't really anything classic about Adopt Me, besides I guess raising the teapot, which is considered OG, but there really wasn't anything classic, and I feel like it was just a massive miss by Adopt Me with their event. The second game is going to be Arsenal, and I think Arsenal is an S tier game. I thought the event they did was very fun, similar to The Hunt, but for the classic, they had you go through this like zombies type game, and it reminded me a lot of Black Ops 3 Zombies. And I know some of the tasks, like completing the entire run in 12 minutes and completing the run with only the default pistol, were pretty difficult, but honestly, I found it very fun and it definitely fit the classic theme, and overall I just have to give that an easy S for Arsenal. The third game on this list is going to be Bee Swarm Simulator, and in my opinion I'm gonna put this one at B. Reason being, I thought it was pretty mediocre for a few reasons. I thought the actual task wasn't too bad and was somewhat enjoyable. I personally got carried in this because I am brand new to the game. I have never played Bee Swarm Simulator ever, and I think that's the issue. If you didn't have anybody to actually carry you and help you through this task, you were basically screwed, because this one was not beginner friendly at all, and you basically had to have experience in this, otherwise you were out of luck. So I think for that reason I'm gonna put it at B, but I think it could have definitely been better. Next up is BedWars. Now let me tell you, this is gonna be a controversial opinion. Did I get help with this? Yes, but I did slightly enjoy the task. I know it's crazy, but I'm gonna put this one at an A. Now BedWars, you either love it or you hate it. I know the task made a lot of people hate penguins. I thought it was somewhat enjoyable fighting the penguins and protecting your bed. It's just if you were playing with people that didn't know what they were doing, it probably wasn't so enjoyable. But BedWars, I thought it was pretty solid. It fit the classic theme, and I thought it was, for the most part, enjoyable. And for our next game, we have another controversial one. We have Blade Ball. And in my opinion, I'm gonna put Blade Ball at a B. Now, I know this one was so frustrating for so many people, and a lot of people definitely disliked this one. I think it was mediocre. I thought it wasn't terrible. I thought the boss fight was kind of interesting, and I know the most frustrating part was getting all those different maps and getting the ticks, because you had to get a specific map and there were like a bunch of them, and when you got to the end you like couldn't get those last final maps. But I thought it was okay. It definitely fit the classic theme, which I liked, and Blade Ball, it was okay. Next up we have Clip It. Now Clip It, I don't know, I find this game kind of goofy. Like, it's like TikTok on Roblox, which I don't know, I don't really understand it. I'm gonna put this one at C. It definitely fit the classic theme. I just didn't really enjoy it. By the way, if you did not do a tutorial for this game, I think everybody had to do a tutorial with this, because if you tried to find those 5 different people, like, you know, John Doe, Jane Doe, it was about impossible. Like, it was so dark in those areas, like the darkness rooms, and if you didn't follow a tutorial, you were basically there for hours. And I don't know, the game to me, I just don't like. So I'll put this at a C tier because it's not terrible, but it's just not good. Up next, we have Dragon Adventures. Now, Dragon Adventures was okay. I'll put this one at B because I thought it was pretty mediocre. It was somewhat a pay-to-win event because if you bought that 99 Robux, like radar thing, it made it a lot easier, but it was very repetitive, you know, finding all those eggs on the same map over and over. It was pretty repetitive. It wasn't that bad or frustrating, but it was just repetitive. So I feel like they could have done maybe something a little bit more fun, you know, with the dragons and all that, but it was just mediocre. For the next game, we have Driving Empire. Now, listen, I like the idea of Driving Empire with the car games and all that. I don't think it was too bad, but it took forever. I'm gonna put this one at C. The only thing that saves it is because it's a driving game, which I somewhat enjoy driving games, and the actual game itself isn't too bad, but I just thought it took forever, pretty repetitive, and just not the most enjoyable task for this, and this was definitely one that I heard a lot of bad opinions about because of how long it took. Dress to Impress is our next game, and I thought this one was actually pretty good. Might be controversial, but I'll put this one at A. Reason being, it was a very simple task, and it was considered, I think, the easiest one out of all the games. All you had to do was go around the lobby, find the ticks, and then do the obby to get the tokens. And it somewhat fit the classic theme. I think overall, it was pretty solid. And there it is, a Dusty Trip, the GOAT of the classic events. I think a Dusty Trip deserves to go at the top of the S tier. I think this was easily the best and most enjoyable game in the classic. You went through and you fought those little boss battles on the side. And at the end, oh my gosh, the boss battle with the 1x, 1x, 1x1, that was amazing. They actually did a better job at a final boss battle with the classic than Roblox did themselves. I thought the ending was amazing and the task was so straightforward and fun that a Dusty Trip definitely deserves the crown for this event. Next up, we have Gunfight Arena. Now, Gunfight Arena, I'm gonna put it at an A. Now, the reason I put it at an A is I thought it was pretty fun. I mean, the game is pretty straightforward. You went around, you found ticks, and then you got kills with the classic weapons. It's basically just a fun first-person shooter game, and I enjoyed it. So I think it deserves to go at an A, and I thought it was pretty solid. Restaurant Tycoon 2. I'm gonna put this one at the C tier. It was a very repetitive task that you had to do, serving 150 classic customers that would only show up once in a while, and especially if you hadn't played that game before and you started with having like only 2 seats or something, it just took a long time and just too repetitive, and it deserves to be in the C tier. I have no idea how Skibidi Toilet Tower Defense Simulator gets in the classic. Like, if you were to think of any game on Roblox that would be the worst game and the least classic game for the classic event, it has to be this game. Now, okay, the task wasn't too bad. I'm gonna put it at a solid B. I thought it was okay. I personally somewhat enjoy the tower defense games, but yeah, it was mediocre at best, and I don't even know why this game was in the classic. And for its more sane counterpart, we have the original Tower Defense Simulator. This one I'm also going to put in the B tier. Mostly enjoyable. It was okay. You had to go through and do the 5 different missions or whatever. It was alright and pretty similar to the other tower defense one. Overall, pretty solid. And here we have the second best part of the event. I thought the hub was amazing. This definitely deserves to go in the S tier, but just behind a dusty trip. The hub was absolute perfection. I thought the developers did an amazing job. You had the obbies, you had the racetracks, you had everything that was classic Roblox, and it really just spoke classic Roblox in that hub. The only thing that really was disappointing about the hub was, what was that final event? I mean, the final boss fight that was apparently hinted for many years came down to a rather lame and anticlimactic boss fight where you fought 1x, 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 but nothing happens. I mean, you fought the boss and it happens over and over. You can do it again, but it's just nothing happens. You didn't get anything, and it was not that good. But overall, the hub itself was amazing, and I think they did an amazing job, so definitely deserves to be in the S tier, right behind a dusty trip. So there is my classic event tier list. Let me know in the comment section down below which ones you agree and disagree with, and what you would change about my list. And if you want to share your tier list, head over to my Twitter. I will have it linked in the description, and I will have a post where you can comment your own tier list. I'll be checking your guys' out and seeing which ones I agree and disagree with. And let me know, what do you guys think about the webcam and the face cam in this video? I might start doing it in more videos. I think it's kind of fun and more personal, I guess, and I feel like you can really better understand what I'm saying if you're actually seeing me say it with my expressions, so let me know in the comments down below. But that is going to be it for me. Thank you all so much for watching. Make sure you like this video if you found it enjoyable, and subscribe if you want to support the channel and find more videos just like this one. And I will see you all in the next video. Peace.